procrastination is something we all do. And it is a major, major driver of not accomplishing our goals. Because without doing the thing, you'll never actually see the result, right? Without actually getting up and taking the action, whether that's going to the gym or saving the money or putting it towards your loans or starting the business or starting a podcast or writing a book, whatever it is, right? Without actually taking that action, there is no result to be had because the action was never taken. It's a cause and effect relationship. You have to do something in order to get something. But if we procrastinate, that's poison. That is, it's stopping you from doing the thing, and it stops you from doing the thing consistently, and it stops you from doing the thing with enough energy and gusto to actually create the result you're looking for. So procrastination is a major, major problem. And it gets worse because if you struggle with this, if you are struggling to do the thing, guess what? You're just going to keep struggling. You're just going to keep in this cycle of starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And you always feel like I'm just starting over again, right? Maybe you've wanted to go to the gym for a really long time. Maybe you've wanted to eat healthy for a really long time. And it just feels like you're always starting over from scratch. And that's because at some point in the process, you started procrastinating. Maybe you had the energy and you were excited in the beginning, but eventually you started procrastinating and you didn't do the thing. You pushed it off for so long that eventually it didn't make sense to do it. And then the next time you finally get the motivation again, guess what? Now you're starting over. And this becomes an even bigger problem because it affects your self-esteem. It affects your self-esteem. It affects your confidence in yourself. Every single time that you say, I'm going to do X, I'm committing to do Y. Every time you say that and then not do it, you are withdrawing a tiny bit from that confidence bank. And eventually there's nothing left. It's depleted. And then you're stuck trying to figure out why you don't feel confident in your ability to do what you say you're going to do, why you don't trust yourself, why you don't have the self-esteem that you should. And it all stems from something as simple, something that we all struggle with, called procrastination. Now, something I've been noticing with myself lately, and this is a big sort of inspiration for this episode, is that when I really pay attention, when I really closely, like write it down, pay attention to the things I procrastinate on, it's typically because I don't feel confident in that thing. I don't feel capable of doing that thing well. I don't feel like I'm good enough at it, right? It's self-doubt. Early in the show, I did a 5-part series from Celestine, I think Chua is how you pronounce her last name. I apologize if I butchered it. But she had a great 5-part blog post about why we procrastinate. And she identified 2 main reasons: self-doubt and lack of interest. And when I really pay attention to my own procrastination habits and the people that are around me, when I look at what they are procrastinating on, a lot of times it comes down to that self-doubt piece. It's pretty much always about self-doubt. The only times you really procrastinate because of a lack of interest is because somebody else sort of assigned it to you. But if it's a personal goal or if it's a goal for your business, you have the interest. So that's not the problem. It's always self-doubt. And I found this to be the case with my own business. One of the most valuable things I can do in my business is send emails to my list and get them on a phone call. This is something I know works. I know every time that I do it, it generates revenue. I know that it's something that I should be prioritizing every single day. But I procrastinate on it. And lo and behold, every time I get into this place where I procrastinate on it, guess what? I'm not making money. And eventually I get to this spot where I don't have enough cash to keep running the business. And that all comes from self-doubt. Because when I really sit down and pay attention to it, guess what? I don't feel like I'm good at writing emails. I feel like I struggle through it. I feel like it's a drag. I feel like it's not something that I have any kind of like mental system about. And so every single time I open up the email software, I am just reinventing the wheel. And there's so many things to think about. The subject line and where to put the links and the copy and what time to send it and what day to send it and all of that stuff. And so because I'm overwhelmed by my lack of expertise in this area, I end up not doing it. And guess what? When I don't do it, I don't see the result.